my name is Jessie Elmer. This is my persuasive speech, and I did it on how tattoos should be accepted in the workplace and how it should not be a reason people are not hired because they have tattoos. So I looked into kind of how professionals with tattoos are viewed, how Americans kind of view tattoos now, and also whether or not it really affects people getting hired. And I wanted to just say my opinion on how I don't think it should be used to make it less likely for someone to be hired. So, tattoos should not be restricted because they are a form of self-expression. I think as long as it isn't offensive, it should be able to be shown. It's still kind of a negative factor in workplaces. A lot of people hiring still prefer non-tattoo people, and 76% of people think it still affects them not being hired, or it hurts like job interviews. But I know the support for tattoos are rising, especially among young people. 86% of young professionals do not think tattoos diminish their chance of getting a job. Grooming and just kind of how you dress and take care of yourself is still one of the most important factors. And I think with the amount of people getting tattooed now, it would really rule out a large percentage of people from that are qualified from being in the workplace. So about 20% of Americans actually have tattoos, and 40% of millennials have tattoos already. I think that number is even getting bigger. At least 73% of people still said they would hire people with tattoos, which is good. And it is still considered like discrimination in the workplace if it's solely, on tattoos, if they receive any sort of harassment on that. So I know some of the assumptions about people with tattoos is just they're more rebellious, that they're not as intelligent, and they may not be as qualified, even though that isn't true. So there's still 60% of human resources professionals say that visible tattoos have a negative impact on applicants being hired. So my opinion is that the discrimination against tattoos in the workplace should not be legal, because a lot of people are starting to want protection from employers because of their body art, and it should be about if they have the right qualifications. There's still kind of a stigma attached with those with tattoos. And the argument is that there's a lot of places where you're meeting a lot of customers, and it may not be, some people may still look down on you with tattoos. So employers should maybe have the right to say whether they want to hire someone or not. I have some examples though of actually lawsuits that have happened, kind of saying that even though people kind of had a tattoo when they were hired, they were actually later either fired or like almost fired because they were supposed to like remove their tattoo. There was a Starbucks barista in Michigan. She had worked there several years, and she had a tiny heart tattoo on her hand, and they said that she had 30 days to start removing it or she would lose her job. And she even tried to cover it up a little more, but I think it was hard on her hand. But they still wanted to get rid of her, and they said their tattoo policy says you cannot have any visible tattoos. Which, it does seem strange that she would get hired and she claims to have never heard about that policy during the interview. There was another situation, it was by Starbucks too, where he worked there 7 years and he was a shift manager, and another regional manager came and just said they didn't like his tattoos and wanted him to resign. This was in 2008, so I guess it was a while ago, but he was fired because he didn't want to resign, and he did file a lawsuit, and I believe he did win that lawsuit. And I know with Starbucks, they had like a petition, I think, after that, because people wanted to get rid of that policy on tattoos. And they're also, I read a lot of examples of different companies now. There's surprisingly big companies like Google, UPS, Target, where they don't have any policies against tattoos, and they definitely have a lot of people who have tattoos showing in their workplace. I know though a lot of people say like Google, especially when you're working in like the headquarters, you don't have to come and meet people all the time, so you're not like with consumers and showing your tattoos all the time. So I know that's still a lot of the reasons, because there's still other big companies that have no visible tattoo policies. AMC Theaters, Denny's, Office Depot, they all have that policy still. And I know that it is changing though. They're just saying from like 10, 20 years ago, it's gotten way better. But it's still kind of up to the company to decide. It kind of warns against young people, thinking about what industry they want to go into, because it'll help if they really want an industry where they're going to be facing people all the time. You may want to like stop from getting super visible tattoos. And also, I like this quote. This was by a bigger company, just saying, we like having the ability to provide a more relaxed work environment for employees. If we were to disallow tattoos, we would cut our potential employee pool down by about 75%. So I think luckily you'll still be improving, and hopefully there won't be too much discrimination in the workplace with tattoos. And that's it.